it's Melanie here. How are you all doing? It's a Monday, a brand new day, brand new week. How exciting. Today, guys, I wanted to come on and talk about online presenting and touching more around if you are looking to record anything, either now or in the future. So this is based around, I was doing a presentation this morning and it was recorded. And I wanted to come on and share my experience, but share as well around what brought me to why I changed some things up this morning to be able to do that recorded presentation. So today's live, I'm going to talk about getting creative, being authentic, and preparing beforehand if you're going to be doing anything recorded, and being able to prepare for that so that you don't have to do several takes. Let me know in the comments if you would love to be able to do recordings, not have to do them a million times. So I'm going to be able to teach you some things today so that then you can be able to just do them in one take. So just to give you a bit of a background story on the presentation that I was recording this morning. So the LinkedIn local Sunshine Coast had me booked in for later on in the year to be able to do a speaking gig there. Obviously, kind of given the current situation and what I do to help people and be able to gain more clarity and confidence, talk about yourself and your business, they have brought it forward to June. And so for the event that they are doing, all the speakers are pre-recording their presentations, and then they will then do the evening live, but our sections are recorded. So I have finished recording mine and sent it through to them. So I am the main keynote speaker, so it's a 45-minute presentation. Hey to everybody joining. And last week I started to think about, okay, what am I going to do about presenting this? Because I've kind of got to the point, and I don't know about anybody else, about sitting behind a desk, sitting behind a webinar, sitting just down all the time communicating with people, that I thought I really want to do something different. It's been around 6-7 weeks since the last time I did any in-person presentations, but also standing up presenting. So up until this morning, I had been doing all of my speaking on Zoom, webinar style, live like this. And I just thought, you know, we're now coming back into being able to start doing things out. And I thought, I don't want to be doing the same as everybody else. So I decided to get creative. So I want you to think about, if you're presenting, if you're recording, is to think outside the box of not always needing to use webinars, thinking about how you can bring you into your presentation and think outside the box. So I wanted to share with you what I did, and whether it's something you is that I used the TV screen in the lounge as my slideshow. And then I had my laptop, so I will share the picture with you in the group because I put everything away because it was this morning. So I then had a stand in front of me with my computer recording my presentation. But behind me was my slideshow on the large TV. So a bit like what it would be like if I was in person. I even stood up for this presentation. I got fully dressed and put shoes on. Very exciting. So I then did the presentation. I didn't feel restricted to sitting down, only being seen from like here up. I felt like I was there with everybody in that moment, being able to present just like I would have been in person. So I want you to think about, is that get a bit creative of how could you set up for doing a presentation or doing a live. What's something that you could do? Now, I don't have professional filming, lighting, all of these different things, guys. So, and I know that for a lot of you that may be the same. So don't feel like you've got to go out there and go and purchase stuff. Just things that you might have around the house. Could you potentially use your TV? And I hooked mine up with a HDMI cable, able to from my laptop, had my slides behind me, and then being able to speak like I am on my phone, but it was on my laptop. So number one is around getting creative of, could you do your presentation with a flip chart and just you? Is there just some other aids or props that you could use so that it's not always around webinars and engage? Because when we do webinars, we're just like these tiny people at the top of a screen or the bottom screen, and everybody just watches these slideshows. So I want you to think about outside the box, what is something else that you can do? I teach this to my clients as well, around just this, like this, one-on-one type of, with a group, removing all of the other noise and just being you. And that leads me into number two, is around the more that we can take away the barriers that we have to communicating with people, the more that we can really be authentic and be able to be ourselves and not be restricted from the technology, not being restricted around all of these other things that we're using, when actually it's just about human to human connection. So think about other things that you can use to still be authentic, still bring you through. Think of how can you engage with the audience using chat, using comments, all of those things. Because my recording, my presentation is a recording. But I have still communicated throughout my presentation of leave them in the comments, because on the evening I will tune in live. So there's still opportunities throughout my presentation for everybody to have time to comment below. And I will be able to sit there that night and comment back with people as well. So thinking about when we're pre-recording things, it doesn't have to be robotic. We can still use certain things to allow people time to engage, to comment, all of those different things, so that you get to be you throughout the entire presentation. So then the third one is around, if you're doing pre-recordings, is that who would love to be able to do it in one take? And not several takes and get stressed about it. Let me know in the comments, live or on replay. I know for myself, I have a 45-minute presentation to do. There was no way that I was doing more than one take for a 45-minute presentation. And also the way in which I look at that is that I was booked in to do that in person. I would not have been given another opportunity for take two. What you see is what you get. It doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be done. So I want you to think about is that if you were presenting that in person, what would you do beforehand? How would you communicate? How would you engage with your audience? And think about the fact that you wouldn't have a take two. So it's the same with pre-recorded. Get prepared, do your homework before, writing down what you're going to say. If you need to have some things, some visuals around you, your script, not word for word, something around you that you can tap into, something that you would do if you were in person. Still use that when we're doing online or we're doing recorded. I had something that I was going to be referring to, and I sat down on my stool and I took them through it, and I had the handout there and I went through it. Again, the same thing as what I would do if I was in person. So I want you to think about getting creative with your online presentations, whether they're live or recorded, doing enough that you know that if you were doing it live and in person, that you're coming through as your authentic self, and doing enough to prepare that you can still be yourself, but you do not have to take any more than one take to do it. Okay, so that is my today's live around online presenting, and these are key things so that you can bring out your point of difference, bring out your authenticity, and really start to think outside the box and not follow the masses of what everybody else is doing online or doing in their recordings. It does not have to be perfect. You do not need to have all of the equipment that you might love to be able to have to get started. You just get started and go for it. I have spelling mistakes in my slide. I had a word that shouldn't have been in there. And as I watched it, as I was doing my presentation, I went, this is what you're getting. I'm not changing it. It would have been the same if I had been live as well, and that's okay. So again, it is about the message, it is about the connection. These things happen, human error. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I was not going, because I was already more than halfway through my presentation, I was not going to stop to go on to then be able to edit it in the grammar. That's not what it's about. I know that I'm good at what I do, and I know that I can engage and connect. And for people that do see the errors, good for you, well done. It's not my forte. I have other strengths, so I'm okay with it. So everybody, go out there, just do it, get started, be yourself, get creative, and be able to do it in one take. Let me know how people go. Let me know in the comments if you take more than one take and how that goes for you. And let me know from this that you're going to start doing it in one take. So I'm super excited to be able to hear from everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day, everybody, and we will chat soon. Bye for now. Bye.